Part 1. The world feels different when a major warning arrives. Recently, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, sent a very serious message to police departments across California. This message contained information that worried many people. The main concern is that a foreign country might plan to use drones for an attack on the west coast of the United States. This is a situation that requires careful attention from everyone involved in public safety. The possibility of such an event changes how people think about their daily lives and the security of their cities. When officials talk about threats, they must be very clear. But this situation remains difficult because there is so much that we still do not know. The intelligence suggests that the danger could come from an unknown ship located somewhere in the vast ocean. This ship might be carrying technology designed to launch small flying machines toward the coast. However, the details are not clear. At this time, there is no specific information about when such an event might happen or exactly where it would take place. This lack of detail makes the situation even more complex for the police and the public. Without a clear time or location, authorities must work harder to protect large areas. The threat is not confirmed, but it is serious enough that the government cannot ignore it. It is important to look at this situation with a neutral mind. We are living in a time where global tensions can create new dangers for countries that are far away from a conflict. The idea of a drone attack is not new, but the possibility of it happening on American soil is a significant worry. People are asking questions about how these drones might travel and what the goal of such an attack would be. Is it a real plan? Or is it a warning of something else? At this moment, the information is limited. The police are staying alert and are working with other agencies to monitor the situation closely. They understand that the public needs to feel safe, but they also know that they cannot share every single detail they possess. This creates a gap between what the officials know and what the people see. As we look at the facts, we must remember that security is a difficult balance. The goal of this report is to explain the situation as it stands today, looking at the possibilities and the risks. Without causing unnecessary panic, we will explore how this story began and what it means for the future. Part 2. The start of the problem. To understand the current danger, we must look at the events that happened in early 2026. The relationship between several nations had been difficult for a long time, but the situation became much worse during the month of February. On February 28, 2026, a major military event changed everything. A joint operation by the United States and Israel resulted in the death of the most important leader in Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. This action created a sudden and deep anger across the region. Leaders in Tehran promised that they would respond to this loss. This event was the main reason why the current conflict began. It marked the start of a much larger and more dangerous war that now affects many parts of the world. The intelligence community began to watch the area very closely after this day. They were looking for any sign of a military reaction. Soon after the death of the leader, the FBI began to intercept secret radio messages. These communications were unclear, but they indicated that something was being planned. The FBI agents worked day and night to translate these messages and understand what they meant. For national security, the information they collected suggested that the Iranian government was looking for a way to fight back against the United States. They wanted to show their strength and prove that their military could reach far away from their own borders. This desire for revenge is the primary reason why the government is now worried about a potential attack on the West Coast. One side feels that a great injustice occurred, and they believe that taking action against their enemy is necessary to balance the scales. This is a common pattern in international conflicts, where one aggressive action leads to another. The FBI is not just guessing, they are reacting to real communications that they heard after the February incident. These messages are the foundation for the current alerts given to police in California. The people in power are trying to decide if these threats are real or just words meant to cause fear. While the situation remains tense, the memory of that day in February continues to drive the decisions made by security agencies. Today the world is watching to see how this conflict will continue to unfold in the coming months, as both sides prepare for the possibility of more violence. For now, the focus remains on preventing a direct attack on American soil. Part 3. How the attack could happen. The details of a possible drone attack remain unclear, but investigators have developed two main theories on how it might be carried out. The first theory focuses on the ocean. Experts believe that a ship could travel near the California coast without being noticed. From this position, the ship could launch small flying machines into the air. These drones are often hard to see on radar because they are small and fly at a low altitude. This method would allow the attackers to reach targets on the West Coast while staying far away from the shore. The second theory involves the border between the United States and Mexico. Some security experts suggest that an attack could come from the land rather than the sea. There is a concern that foreign groups might work with local cartels. These cartels already have experience moving things across the border, and they have used small drones in the past to help their operations. By using existing networks, a group could potentially bring drone technology into the country more easily. Drone technology has changed significantly in recent years. Today these machines are cheaper, faster and easier to buy than they were in the past. Many of these drones can be controlled from a long distance using a simple computer or tablet. Because they are so easy to use, they have become a common tool for both hobbyists and bad actors. It is important to note that these are only possibilities. The authorities do not have clear evidence that either of these plans is currently in motion. However, because drone technology is so accessible, the police must consider many different scenarios. They are looking at how these machines work and how they might be used to cause damage. By understanding the technology, security forces hope to build a better defense. The challenge is that a drone is very small compared to a plane or a missile. This makes it difficult for current defense systems to spot them early. Because of this, the police and federal agencies are staying very alert. They are watching the coastline and the southern border with more care than usual. Every piece of information is checked, even if it seems small. The goal is to stop any potential plan before it can start. For now, the situation remains a serious concern for those responsible for public safety as they work to understand the many ways a threat could arrive. Part 4. Worry about big events. The news about a possible drone attack is making many people in California feel very nervous. When the public hears about potential danger, they start to look at their surroundings differently. People are worried about their daily lives, but they are especially concerned about large events where many people gather in one place. These big events are common targets because they attract a lot of attention. The most famous event coming soon is the Oscars. This ceremony brings together many important people from the movie industry. Because the world is watching, any trouble at the Oscars would be a very big story. This makes the event a high priority for security teams. Beyond the Oscars, people are worried about other busy places. Airports are always full of travelers moving between states or countries. Sports games are also a major concern. Thousands of fans sit in large stadiums to watch football or baseball. If something were to happen at a place like that, it would cause a lot of panic. The idea that a small flying machine could reach these areas is very scary. For the average person, everyone wants to enjoy their hobbies and travel without feeling like they are in danger. Because of this fear, California Governor Gavin Newsom has spoken to the public. He wants to make sure that the people feel protected. He says that the state government is working very closely with local police departments. They are sharing information to make sure that they do not miss any warning signs. This partnership is very important during times of high stress. The police are now paying much more attention to the sky and to the areas around large buildings. They are checking security plans to make sure that everything is ready for a fast response if it is needed. The main goal of all these leaders is to keep everyone safe. They do not want to stop people from living their normal lives. But they must be careful. They know that a big event can be a target, so they are putting more offices in places where large groups of people meet. They are also talking to the people who organize these events to make sure that everyone knows what to do in an emergency. The government believes that being prepared is the best way to handle the situation. Even though the danger is not certain, the leaders feel that it is better to take extra steps now than to be sorry later. By working together, the police and the government hope to keep the state calm while they watch for any real threats. Part 5. Waiting for real proof. The situation in California remains tense as everyone waits for more information. Officials have worked hard to share the most important message with the public. They want people to understand that at this moment, there is no confirmed threat. While the warning from the authorities was serious, it did not provide specific evidence that an attack is definitely going to happen. The Federal Bureau of Investigation continues to study the reports they received, but they admit they are not completely sure about the drone information. It is a difficult position for them to be in. They must decide how to handle a potential danger while also avoiding unnecessary panic among the people. Because the situation is uncertain, the government has decided to use heavy security measures across the state. This is a common way to handle threats when the details are not yet clear. Police officers and security teams are working longer hours than usual. They are watching airports, sports stadiums, and areas where large crowds gather. These preparations are being made just to be safe, even if the threat never becomes a reality. The leaders of the state believe that being ready is the best way to protect everyone. They would rather have extra security and not need it than be caught unprepared. Many people are asking questions about the reality of these dangers. They want to know if the ships in the ocean are truly carrying weapons, or if the information is based on old data. The officials cannot give simple answers because they are still waiting for real proof themselves. They are gathering intelligence from many sources to see if the threat is real or just a misunderstanding. This process takes time. In the meantime, the public is encouraged to stay calm and continue with their daily lives. The local police are asking everyone to stay alert and report anything that looks strange or suspicious. By working together, the community and the police hope to keep the state safe while they wait for the final truth to emerge. The waiting period is difficult, but it is necessary. Until the FBI finds hard evidence, the state will stay in this state of high alert. They are watching the skies and the borders, waiting for a sign that confirms or denies the danger. Every day that passes without an incident gives people a little more hope that the warning was just a false alarm. However, the authorities will not lower their guard until they are absolutely certain that the danger has passed. Part 6. Fake news and rumors. In times of uncertainty, information travels faster than ever before. When the public hears about a possible threat, they immediately look for more details online. This is where the problem of fake news begins, because the official warnings lack specific details about the time or location of a potential attack. People start to guess. These guesses often turn into rumors that spread across social media platforms in a matter of seconds. Many users share these stories without checking if they are true. Some people feel that the warning from the authorities is not completely honest. They question why the government would release information that is so vague. On the internet, you can find hundreds of theories about the situation. Some say the threat is a complete lie, while others believe it is a secret plan to control the population. It is very difficult for the average person to know what is real and what is just a story made up by someone else. The rapid spread of these rumors causes confusion among the public. When people read conflicting reports, they often feel nervous and unsure about who to trust. It is important to stay calm and look at the situation from all sides. Relying on official statements is usually better than believing posts from unknown accounts on the internet. However, even official news can sometimes be misunderstood or exaggerated by the media. The challenge for everyone is to look for facts rather than opinions. When a rumor sounds too scary or too perfect to be true, it is often a sign that it is not accurate. People should wait for clear evidence before they react to new information. In a world where anyone can publish a story, being a careful reader is a very important skill. By thinking critically about what we see online, we can help stop the spread of false information. It is essential to understand that rumors are not the same as facts. While it is natural to be curious about potential dangers, it is also necessary to keep a neutral mind. Listening to different viewpoints helps us see the full picture without falling for stories that are designed to cause panic. As the situation continues, the best approach is to stay informed through reliable sources, while remembering that much of what we read online is not based on proven reality. Maintaining a balanced perspective is the most effective way to deal with the noise of modern news. Part 7. Why target the country? Many people wonder why a group would want to attack the United States with small drones. It is important to look at this question carefully from a military point of view. A few small drones sent from a single ship cannot win a big war. These drones are not powerful enough to destroy a large city or stop a strong military force. However, the purpose of such an attack might not be to win a war on the battlefield. Instead, the goal could be to send a psychological message by bringing a conflict to the American coast. An attacker can show that no place is truly safe. This creates fear and makes people feel worried in their own homes. There is another reason why someone might choose this time for an attack. Important national elections are coming soon. In the United States, elections are a time when many people pay close attention to the government and national safety. If a small attack happens, it can change how people think about their leaders. Some people believe that an attack could be used to influence voters. If people are afraid, they might change their opinions on who should lead the country. This is why some experts talk about the idea of a false flag. A false flag is a trick where someone pretends to be an enemy to create panic. Some believe the warning about a drone attack might be a way to scare voters or make them support specific political ideas. We must look at these theories with caution. It is possible that the threat is real and the danger is coming from outside forces. It is also possible that the situation is more complex and connected to internal politics. When a country faces a potential threat, people often look for hidden meanings. They want to know if the danger is coming from an enemy across the ocean, or if it is part of a political game at home. It is hard to know the truth when there are so many different ideas. However, the main point is that even a small attack can have a very big effect on the feelings of a nation. Whether the threat is real or just a story, it changes how people live their daily lives. Security experts continue to watch the borders and the ocean, waiting to see if these theories will become a reality. For now, the public is left to think about the reasons behind the warning and what it means for the future of the country. Part 8. The end of the story. The situation in California remains quiet as the days pass. While the initial warning from the FBI created a lot of worry, no attacks have happened. The skies over the West Coast are clear, and the large events, including the Oscars, went forward as planned. People are starting to return to their normal lives, but the memory of the threat stays with them. This experience shows us how quickly fear can travel in the digital age. When officials share information, it can save lives, but it can also lead to confusion if the details are not clear. The balance between keeping the public safe and avoiding unnecessary panic is very difficult to manage. For now, the threat remains unproven. There is no evidence of a ship near the coast or a secret plan involving drones. Whether the warning was based on real intelligence or if it was a misunderstanding of radio signals, the result is the same. The country has learned that it must be ready for new types of danger, even when those dangers are hard to see. We have learned that security is not just about police and weapons. It is also about the information we choose to believe. The internet makes it easy for rumors to grow, and many people were scared by news that turned out to be unsupported by facts. As we look back on these weeks, we see that the most important tool is patience. Waiting for confirmed facts is better than reacting to every shadow or whisper. The geopolitical tension between the United States and Iran is still high, and the world is watching these two nations closely. The death of the Iranian leader changed the map of global politics, and the effects will be felt for a long time. However, the specific threat to the West Coast seems to have faded into the past. We are left with a final lesson about the modern world. Technology like drones can be used for good or for harm, and our borders are not as far away from world events as we once thought. We must remain alert, but we should not let fear take control of our daily lives. As the news cycle moves on to new stories, the people of California can breathe a sigh of relief. The story of the drone threat has come to an end, at least for now. We wait and watch for what happens next in this changing world, hoping for peace instead of conflict.